Mandalorian. I finally got a chance to finish it. I think it was yesterday when I finally finished it. My son and I were watching it together, so we were waiting for each other. We didn't want to get ahead of each other, so we waited so we could see it together. And it was, okay, so I must say it was quite enjoyable. I do get the hype that surrounded it, especially the hype around Baby Yoda. Oh my gosh, he was so cute. But I also liked that it introduced all these different characters, and it was pretty well acted. I have to say, though, that the girl, oh shoot, what is her name? Gina or Gia, whatever. The girl, the MMA girl. While I liked her character, she was interesting, and I liked her story, and I liked the chemistry that she had with the Mandalorian. I feel like that the actress was probably the weakest link because she's not that great of an actress. So that was the only sort of like little chink in the armor for me, when it came to the cast. I mean, she wasn't terrible, but she wasn't as good as all the others. Because, I mean, she's not primarily an actress. She's an MMA fighter, or she was an MMA fighter. So she's not, I know she's been in some movies. I've seen her in films. She's, good as an action type actress. But when it comes to the actual acting, she's not all that great. Anyway, but it really wasn't enough to distract me from the show or from enjoying the show. I liked the plot. So I did not know at all what the plot was going to be until I started to watch it. And then you realize that it's about Baby Yoda. I mean, he's not a little side character. He is the whole reason that the plot moves forward. He's the whole, he is the center of the conflict, because in the first episode, slight spoilers, you guys, but in the first episode, he takes a job to go and recover this child, this asset or whatever, and he finds out that they're either going to kill the child or do some not very nice things. And so in that instance, he completely changes what he was going to do. He was going to, go along with the plan, and he turns on the droid that was with him, and he decides to save the child, which is this Baby Yoda. Everybody's calling it Baby Yoda. Anyway, and seems like that's the first time he's ever broken, away from the plan like that. So that sets in motion this huge conflict with the people that sent him, and like some other guild or group or something that was headed by Carl Weathers. So it's just, he spends much of the entire season protecting the child, because it's at the very end of the first episode that he meets little Baby Yoda, and then from then on, the story progresses from there. There are other little side stories that happen, like this one. He's helping a village fight back against, like this invading force. And then there's another where he goes on to like a prison ship or something to help break somebody out. So little sort of side things like that, but it still all comes around and connects to Baby Yoda. And, I'm super curious to find out. That was the end of the first episode right there, where he's, reaching out to little tiny Baby Yoda fingers, and little Baby Yoda's so cute. But I'm super curious to find out where this is going to go the next season, and not sure when it's going to come around. I cannot recall if I heard whether the second season has been interrupted at all because of what's going on in the world, or if I'm confusing that with something else. But Anyway, I don't think we've been given an estimated release date for season 2, have we? I mean, unless I've completely missed out. Anyway, on the news or something, which is highly possible. But yeah, it was, I really like this world. I mean, obviously the world has been created for us. We already know it's Star Wars. We understand a lot of basic things about the different characters. But I like that we got this introduction to completely different people, not really tied in with anyone that we have, seen before or known before. Not that I know. Now, maybe some, really dedicated Star Wars fans can see certain connections that I'm not seeing as more of a casual fan. So, whatever. I appreciated the different characters and their stories and different scenery, or, just everything that was different about it from what we've grown to know. I mean, there are elements of sameness, but there's also different stuff. I believe this takes place, oh gosh, how many years after the events of episode 6? I can't remember. 5 years? Or 30? Something like that. Anyway, it's a bit of time after episode 6 from what I understand. And you know what? Where is it? Episode 3. I'm super confused. I'm probably getting the timeline all wonky because, as I understand it, the character of Ahsoka is going to be in season 2, and she was perfectly cast with Rosario Dawson. That is one of the best casting decisions I've ever seen. She's completely perfect for the part. I'm so happy to find out that they did cast her. But anyway, there were rumors that Brie Larson was wanting the part, which I'm really glad didn't happen. That would have been a huge turnoff. But from what I understand, Ahsoka's character is going to be in the 2nd season of The Mandalorian. And Ahsoka, now I haven't finished watching the latest Clone Wars show, seasons, whatever. So might be out of touch with the timeline, okay? But I know Ahsoka, from what I've been seeing, she's between episode 2 and 3. And she is Anakin's like Padawan or something like that. He's her mentor. So I know that in the Clone Wars, it gets closer to the end of episode 3, like before he turns. Now, I don't know if, and now at this point, it is there. So when she shows up here, it is the right timeline. So I'm guessing this takes place. This must be that it's after episode 3. It has to be. If Ahsoka's going to be in there, it has to be after episode 3. So between 3 and 4. Anyway, well, that was a tangent, but I'm curious to find out where the next season is going to go. I'm really curious to find out more about Baby Yoda. Obviously, I mean, he's got to be the same type of creature that Yoda was, surely. Is he Yoda? He can't be Yoda. Yoda was really old. Yeah, he can't be Yoda. But anyway, he is connected to Yoda in that he looks like he's the same species. But what is he? I don't know. I'm sure superfans probably know, but I don't know for sure. All I know is that this show was a fun ride, and I think that most fans of Star Wars have really enjoyed it. From what I can gather, I mean, my news feed on Facebook was blowing up with all this stuff about Baby Yoda not long after the show premiered, and people were, watching the episodes. And I see what all the hype is about. He's a cute little creature. It's a pretty interesting storyline, I think. I love the casting of Pedro Pascal. I knew who he was. I knew who was going to play the Mandalorian early on from the beginning. And I know that he wasn't in all of the scenes because he wears his mask primarily. Spoiler alert, there's only one time you're going to see his face, and that's it. He just carries the role in everything about his posture, his voice. I know his voice is done, with voiceover. I know that he's not in. It's not really Pedro in the Get Up the whole time, because there were some times that he couldn't make it to filming, because he had to be somewhere else to do something else, and so they had a stand-in for him. But most of the time it was him. And the whole way he carried the character. I mean, he's so, oh God, scare me to death. I hate when that happens. Why does it always do that when I start? Okay. The whole way he carried the character, the way he walked, the way he moved, the way he fought, he was so dang cool, you guys. He was so awesome. I loved it. Like the choreography and the fighting, and just the way he would shoot his weapon, or pull that thing like that scene. I think it's in the very first episode where he does something to this guy, grabs him with this grappling thing, and pulls the guy down right as the doors are closing around on him. That was so cool. I remember noticing that in the trailer, and I really liked how they edited that, how they put that together. But yeah, he's perfect for this role. I can't think of anybody else who could have fit that costume any better. Not just literally, but just figuratively. I mean, he's absolutely perfect. And just the turn of the head, and the way he would, tilt his head and whatever. He has it down. I mean, he was wonderful for the role, and I have zero complaints about his performance. So this has been a lot of rambling and everything, but it's just a long ass way of me getting around again to saying that I really like this show, and I'm looking forward to the next season. I like the writing. The writing was pretty dang decent as well. Maybe if I went back and analyzed it again, instead of just watching it for the enjoyment of it, which, sometimes writing can be so bad that it just kind of just jumps right up and smacks you across the face with how bad it is. But then sometimes you watch it and you enjoy it and you appreciate the writing. But then maybe if you go back on subsequent viewings, you start to notice things you didn't really notice the first time. So maybe if I rewatched it, I would notice some things that would stand out to me as a little bit problematic, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was a fun ride, and I'm sure most everybody who was interested to watch it has seen it by now, but if you haven't seen it yet, I do highly recommend that you check it out. It was worth it. It was only about 8 or 10 episodes long. Another complaint, the episodes are too short. I wish they were longer, but I guess that's a minor quibble. I mean, they told the whole story sufficiently in each episode. It didn't really feel like the episodes were super rushed too much. The last episode was probably one of the longer ones at about 45 minutes, because they were pretty much wrapping everything up. So, there were some good moments of humor. There were moments of tension. There was pretty good action scenes. And yeah, it was just a great package all around. Fun show, recommend it, and I can't think of anything else to add. And we saw the machines. What is that, an AT-AT? Something like that. Those are some, familiar things that we saw. We knew what they were. But anyway, okay, I got distracted. But basically, I can't think of anything else to add, or I'm going to just end up repeating myself like I tend to do if I yammer on and on. So I'm going to wrap this up for now. And if any of you guys have seen it yet, which I'm sure most of you probably have. I mean, I feel like I'm the last person in the world to have gotten around to watching it practically. But let me know what you think about it. And, if you spotted any sort of weaknesses that were an issue for you, or what you felt were its strengths. I'd like to hear from you so we can talk about it. Okay, I'm wrapping this up. Adios.